Well, it's now June the 7th. The season for surveying for glowworms is fast continuing. I'm still coming up each night, but I don't do these type of recordings every night. I came up last night and in the worst possible conditions of a clearing sky after a moderately wet day and cool temperatures and moonlight meant I only found one female. Tonight is quite the opposite. The conditions are absolutely perfect this evening, and I'm expecting a decent double figure count tonight. I think many of the glowworms that have been missing the last 2 or 3 nights will reappear again tonight, and I won't be surprised at quite a few new glowworms appearing for the first time. So, with these beautiful leaden skies, the prospect of rain at some time, hopefully it'll stay dry for the rest of this visit. So, onwards and upwards and out with the light. Well, no sooner as I'd finished recording that opening segment, it started to rain quite sharp, but it's nothing too disconcerting at the moment and shouldn't be a problem as long as it doesn't get torrential. I'm not really bothered. It's the usual survey route I'm following. I'm presently here just starting off in section O, then I'll go along sections L and M. I'll retrace my steps back through M and L, and then we go uphill up K and J, across at the back of the centre tree, and then down sections D, C, B and A of the grass strip. So that's the plan. So rather than stand here and get wet, I might as well be walking that way and get wet. Well, I've just come down section O and just started to work my way along section L here, and the first female glowworm is on the right hand side, and it's in a spot where there's been no female glowworms for a number of years, certainly not since they felled this area of Clipsnell Quarter. So while you listen to the nightjar, I was going to say, I'm going to get this one marked, and then we'll make us way along the rest of section L, up M, and then come back through these two sections. Well, it's been rather disappointing, to be honest. I went and surveyed sections L and M and came back through those two, and then I've just come up sections K and I'm now stood at the top of section J. I've not added or seen any more glowworms at all, other than the new one at the start of section L. What's quite apparent, and has been for a number of years here now at Clipsnell Quarters, is that there are large sections or areas of the sections that are free from glowworms. That's happened within the last few years, and the key instigator in that would be the felling of the pines which used to run the length of sections K and J and L and M behind me. It's not so much the felling work, but it's the removal process that's the most destructive to glowworms, and it's very clear now. And this is after continued and consistent coverage and surveying. This is not just whimsical and fanciful and just based on occasional walks around the forest. This is based on hard evidence and surveys over many years that the glowworm is definitely in trouble here. It used to be the most astounding place and one of the UK's best colonies. It's far from that now. Well, just started my walk down section D. Found the first female, which is female 4, and she's got a male. So while I take some film or some video footage of this female and male, I'll leave you with a clip just to give you more of an idea of what this place now looks like in the daytime. It's video that I shot earlier on today when we actually had some sun. That's quite a picture, doesn't it? A bit different to the one that you've just been looking at, where it's virtually completely pitch black. But I thought, on this glowworm video, it would be nice if I gave you a glimpse, if you're new to this channel, of the sort of areas that I'm going through. And this is the top part of the grass strip in section D. Facing that way because that's away from the sun. And I'll show you sections C, B and A as we get further down. But there's a huge amount of bracken growth now at the moment, most of it standing a good sort of 3 to 4 feet tall already. The most important thing is that the scrub's gone and the grass is now starting to come back through really strongly. The whole of the grass strip is now pretty much grass again. And this is female 4 and her attending male. Male's on top and is typically beetle-like with the elytra covering the wings because the males can fly, females are flightless. Sometimes when there's high numbers of males on site, a female can have as many as 6 males in attendance. However, only one is always lucky. Sometimes though, mating isn't successful and the female can start glowing again after a couple of nights. This looks like it's the last night glowing and lights out though for female 4 at long last. Well, I'm just having 5 minutes just before I go down through the last 3 grass strip sections of C, B and A. And while I do that, in a minute I'll drop in a clip here from earlier today of looking down these 3 sections from bottom of section D. It shows dramatically how this place has improved since all the work was done to restore it to how it was and to remove the scrub and the bracken and bramble earlier on in the year. It has been tremendous. There's a lot more bracken though now in section D than what there was before. Glowworm numbers are very poor. There was only 3 females in section D, and I know with 2 of those having males this evening, there's not going to be that many tomorrow night. At least 2 will not be present. It doesn't bode well for me walking down through these sections, which have produced just a single female each in the last few nights. In fact, the full total of female glowworms here at Clipston Old Quarter this year is now just 25, and that is incredibly poor and indicative of how this colony has been affected over the last few years. So, it's out with the lights and carry on with the survey. That's a young tawny owl chick that's branched out, as they call it. That means fledged from the nest. We used to call it fligged many years ago when I were a lad. Anyway, I'm now just against the car, just got a few more yards to go. I'm at the bottom of section A, and it has been a poor night. It's a very worrying picture here, and it's something that I can't emphasise enough, the decline of this colony here. And at the moment, I can't see a change in fortunes this year. It's hard to see where a decent count is coming from. Hopefully, over the next few weeks, that picture might change a little bit and there might be some hope. But these numbers that I'm getting now, they should be bigger than that based on the first date that the first female appeared this year. We should be into really good counts now. And it's not just the grass strip, that's the worrying thing. It's the other sections, like sections O, L and M and K and J, and the lack of glowworms in them that's worrying. So, until another night, I'll leave you with this squawky, hungry little tawny owl. It's about time his parents came and fed it.